All right, it is day 2 here at ASUN 2009, and right now I have Josh Elder with us. We spoke last year here. He is responsible for Mail Order Ninja. Awesome. Ninjas rock.
They do. It's true.
So, so are you enjoying your time being back here at ASUN and in Chicago?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I am a Chicagoan, so I didn't have to travel that far. I mean, I live on the Blue Line, so I just sort of hopped on the train, and here I am. Excuse me. But the convention itself is fantastic. It's my favorite Chicago show. My favorite one to do. It's a blast. I'm treated a lot better here, I guess, than at Wizard World, and I get to do a lot more fun stuff, and everyone's a lot more engaged. At a lot of comic shows, there's this feeling of malaise that kind of infects the whole place. Here, it's nothing but enthusiasm. Everyone's excited to be here. Everyone's excited to find new things and discover new stuff. At comics conventions, it always feels like I want to find the stuff that's exactly like the stuff that I read when I was a kid. Here, everyone wants to find things that they've never seen before. Yeah,
something that intrigue them and keep them going.
Exactly. And it's a really exciting thing for me, and I love the show. I love the vibe about it. I love the people here. So, yeah, having a great time.
Good. I'm glad that. Now, for those who don't know, like I mentioned earlier, Mail Order Ninja. Tell us a little bit about the series.
All right. Well, it's published by Tokyopop, and it's a, so far, 2 graphic novel series. It was also a nationally syndicated comic strip that ran in the LA Times, the Boston Globe, and about 40 other newspapers all over the world. It's the heartwarming tale of a boy who orders a ninja from a catalog to help him fight back against the school bullies and overthrow the evil rich girl who runs the school. And I'd call it Calvin and Hobbes if Hobbes was a ninja. And I think that's the best way to describe it. And I'm really proud of it. It's a really fun book, and it's what launched me into comics in general, into a career. There's the original 2 books. It was originally entered as a short story in the Rising Stars of Manga, Volume 5, and won the grand prize in 2005, and that's what led to the book series and has led to basically everything else.
Sweet. Now, what aspects will fans like most about Mail Order Ninja?
Well, I mean, I think it's just really fun and cute for anybody. For me, when I write it, my goal is to be... I try to channel the spirit of the Looney Tunes, which, when you're 5 years old, it's hilarious. Anvils falling on the heads of coyotes, always a good for a laugh. But the older you get, the smarter those cartoons become. If you've ever seen What's Opera Doc, which is the kill the wabbit bit, when you're 5... Elmer Fudd, Bugs Bunny, in crazy outfits, hilarious.
Yeah.
When you're 25, you go back and you watch it and you say, "Oh, this is a parody of Richard Wagner's Ring Cycle."
Yeah.
Wow, this is like the deepest cartoon ever. This is satire of the highest high art, but it works at every level.
Yeah.
And with Mail Order Ninja, I try to create something that, again, no matter how old you are when you read it, no matter where you are, there's always something there for you. So I think the thing that people most like about Mail Order Ninja is that no matter who they are, they're going to find it funny. Yeah.
Now, are you able to bring your own style, kind of getting off Mail Order Ninja for a little bit, to the Batman Strikes and with the already established series?
Sure. I'm also one of the writers on the Batman Strikes, and I do a number of... I've got pitches in for taking over some of the stuff in the new Brave and the Bold comic as well. But it's... Batman is Batman, and even if it wasn't, editorially controlled, you can't... There's stuff with Batman you can't do because then it's not Batman anymore.
As you say, you can't deviate from who he is.
Yeah. The character is strong, and he has his own way of doing things.
Right.
But I definitely try to bring that style of... The Batman Strikes is considered, a kid-friendly book for DC as well, much in the same vein as Mail Order Ninja. But like with Mail Order Ninja, I try to bring a level of layered sophistication to it. So that, a 7-year-old will get it. Yeah, again, anybody. a 7-year-old will understand the story. They'll read it. They'll like it. They'll have a fun time. They'll hopefully laugh at some.
Over their heads with...
No, but if you read it, if their parent reads it with them, there's going to be a lot of stuff that parent will pick up on. They'll be like, "Oh, I'm glad that's there." Or for adult Batman fans who just enjoy a good Batman action story, this is a fine one. It doesn't talk down, and it's not afraid to talk up. And by doing that, I think it serves pretty much everybody. At least I hope so. So if I say I would say that's the most important style thing that I bring from Mail Order Ninja, or from my style, which, when I do kid stuff, is my attempt to write something that I still enjoy, that the 7-year-old me wouldn't be confused by, that would never get lost in.
Which there's a lot of comics out there that do end up having that happen.
Yeah. But at the same time, I don't want them to get every joke. I don't want them to get every reference, because then they never have a reason to read it again.
I was going to say that it brings them, it gives them a reason to come back.
Yeah, it challenges them.
10 years down the road.
Exactly. And I mean, there are times I want them to say, I kind of know what this is, but now I really want to know. I mean, that's what spurred a lot of my interest in science when I was a kid, reading science fiction comics and reading science fiction in general, knowing kind of what they were talking about, but really wanting to understand what's really going on here.
Right.
And I think that children's literature has an obligation to do that, to challenge their readers.
Oh, that's awesome. My dad would have loved it. He was a reading teacher.
Oh, well, fantastic.
So, yeah. Now, tell us a little bit about your graphic novel, Love Bites.
All right. Well, Love Bites was a book I did with Platinum Studios.
I
don't have it here. I've sold out of it. There are no more
That's
Love Bites.
Awesome, though.
Love Bites was a romantic comedy about a love triangle between a man, a woman, and a self-aware evil supercomputer. Sort of like if HAL 9000 joined the cast of The Office. So that was a fun book to write. That was my first full graphic novel, and I learned a lot doing it, and I'm pretty proud of it for what it is. It's not, my favorite work or my best work, but I was pretty pleased with it. It had this big kind of glaring pink cover, so I always felt kind of weird putting it up next to I do Batman. I also write this crazy romantic comedy, pink cover. Check it out. Yeah, but I'm proud of it, and it was a fun book, fun to write, and people enjoyed it, so
That's a good
no
thing.
complaints.
That's a good thing. How about, graphic novel review that came out in the Chicago Sun-Times?
Mail Order Ninja, and there was a profile, actually, of me in the Chicago Sun-Times, which was a pretty big deal. I was very happy about that. Yeah. And what, interestingly enough, that led to me becoming the graphic novel reviewer for the Chicago Sun-Times.
Really?
And that's one of my other sort of side jobs now. Thank you. It's really fun. People send me free stuff all the time now, so I'm all about that. Anyone who sees this, wants their book reviewed, mind me. Easy to do. I'll read it. I'll check it out, see what I can do. But yeah, it was a thing where I just sort of fell backwards into it. I had a journalism background. I used to work at Wizard Magazine. I, ran our student newspaper at Northwestern. So I have a lot of that background. I just hadn't flexed those muscles in a while. That opportunity came, and I went for it. And it's been great ever since.
Good. Now, are there any current projects that you're working on or upcoming projects that you can tell us about?
Sure. Well, I've been doing the StarCraft graphic novels for Tokyo Pop starting last summer, and my next one is coming out next month, I believe.
Okay.
And then I have another one that'll probably be out before the end of the year.
Wow.
A whole series continuing with characters, setting up StarCraft 2, the sequel to the computer game, which, as a huge fan of StarCraft, this is like one of my biggest geek moments ever. Hopefully I'll be doing some work on the Batman Brave and the Bold comic soon. And beyond that, I have a number of pitches in that are waiting final consideration for Muppet projects over at Boom Studios. And other than that, nothing that I can really talk about at this stage, aside from a project called Comic Feast, which hopefully everyone will be hearing a lot more about very soon. is I'm the CEO and founder of a digital comic distribution solution, as we like to call it, kind of the iTunes of comics. And
You want to know how for a little bit about that?
there's a lot of other people that are doing it or have done projects like this, and a lot of them have done it pretty well, a lot of them not so well, but we think that we've got a pretty unique way to present this material, and we've already got some very exciting content lined up. And when we launch, which will be very soon, either at the end of the summer or the middle of the fall, depending on how some of the deals we're looking at come together, it's going to be a pretty big thing, and we're really excited about it. So, yeah, lots of cool stuff.
Excited. Can't wait to see that happen. And
Thank you.
pleasure talking with you, like always.
Same here.
Like always. And like I said, I'll come back and I'll be grabbing one of these.
All right, you won't regret it. Oh.